Hello all, it's me, your friendly neighborhood Dark Shops. Sorry I've been gone for so long, but sometimes life has a way of derailing my plans. But, if you'll pardon the pun and this nonsense, we'll skip the apologies and I guess get into something that isn't a Forza race or a music video. Today we're going back to some of the old school stuff. The stuff that, I guess, put my channel a bit on the map. And that is the models. And it is not a Roller Series Customs model, and it will no longer be named anything like anything else brackets, like brackets, Roller Series Customs, none of that. From now on, any customs, and this doesn't just relate to trains and stuff, anything I have, is going to fall under one banner for the sake of simplicity. So it'll be Forza videos, music videos, and now the new title for any customs, off the shop floor. Probably not original, but I'm going to go with it for now until I find a better way to phrase it. So, with all this nonsense out of the way, let's take a look at this. Now this here obviously doesn't look like any normal steam engine, for those of you who know how they're supposed to be designed. Especially considering how this is a mogul with a very funky setup of valve gears. So, let me give you the deets. This right here is one of the Midland Terminal Railway moguls. These were ex-military 060 switchers that were bought secondhand after, World War II ended. I mean, you don't have much need for steam switchers when the man takes a tank. So, they were sold off. Midland bought a bunch of them, and apparently, these feisty little switchers had a little design feature where they could be equipped with pony trucks or trailing trucks, which are basically these up here. And the Midland decided to go all in on it. So, for the three that they had, they basically went nuts. And the three that they did purchase, as I learned through my studies, were ex-Army number 4062, 4051, and 4028. And as much as I'd love to let you guess which one this is, number 65, as the middle numbered it, was actually 4028. So, fun little trivia fact if anybody ever wants to look into this stuff. So, yeah. As you can imagine, I think I can pretty much nail the formula down with this one, because as you'll see, there isn't a waffle wafer. The frame is different, because instead of being built like, say, XDBev 13 over here, with the waffle wafers, this has no such thing. This is all just box, thin sheet box. What started with a simple frame that's barely as wide as the boiler diameter went into this. And I think this is the peak of my modeling capabilities, because out of anything I've ever done, this not only looks the most appealing, despite being, realistically, it would be the size of an 86-foot boxcar, if not a bit longer. But just generally, for something so small, both in real life and in model form, it ends up being one of the most detailed. And plus, you've got an actual smoke box to look at instead of some face with black hole eyes staring into your soul. Enjoy losing your soul. Bit over. Anyways, with that all done, let's take a quick spin around. So, in the front, you can see, obviously, smoke box. And Midland had these with a high hood headlight, so no changes from their military days. But one change that did occur to two of them, number 64 and 66, which were Lima built, whereas 65 was an Alco build, they had two sets of cross compounds, which are basically the pumps that you'll hear whenever one of these engines is stood stationary. Helps runs the brakes, as you know. So, as you can see, 65 here only has the one setup because Alco chose not to go too nuts with that option. That, or I guess the Midland wasn't feeling it with this one. But, hey, let him go nuts. You got the Tridome setup, which is all three-rounded and is, again, unique to only 65 and Alco switchers of this type. However, something that was on all of them was its extended bunker. Now, while it may not go up as high as this model shows. It is a very wide. Width was the main factor that led these things to having more coal capacity. Because basically, these things were used to haul various ores and other things up Colorado grades. That's right. Engines that would normally tank at least 20 miles an hour running through yards were used on grades in Colorado hauling heavy trains. If that doesn't speak volumes about these little engines, I don't know what does, because these things, they're the locomotive equivalent of supercar killers. They look good, but they can tank enough to make even like the big shots kind of look like, oh, okay, well, that's not so cool anymore. So that's kind of one of the reasons that pushed me to really build this. And outside of that, you've got the air tanks down here and switching gear. So yeah, all around, this model really is just my peak. It's got everything I've learned over these years in one little package, and I love it, and I hope you love it too. So with that being said, this has been a very quick fire round of off the shop floor. So that being said, this has been your friendly neighborhood Dark Shops. And I'll see you next time where we take a trip to Britland. I already know I've ticked off all of you who know how to practically pronounce Britain. I'm sorry. But hey, I gotta do it somehow. So enjoy your day.